I'm not supposed to tell you this because this is like insider trading knowledge and I could go to Faye jail for it. But have you eaten today? Like, have you had water? I usually ask the self-care stuff like at the end of my video, but things have been real rough for a lot of people lately. Please eat, drink, and do something to be merry. Speaking of being merry, today on this beautiful Tuesday at tea time, we're going to talk trinkets. What the heck is a trinket? Trinket. Noun. An item, big or small, simple or complex, freely gifted solely to bring joy. Trinket. There's a whole community of trinket traders, and like it started at Renfest and it's gone into conventions. Like people at NakaCon were giving me trinkets, thank you very much. There are some little rules about trinkets that we're gonna go over so that if you decide you want to get into trinket trading, you do not wind up on the wrong end of like the trader's bargain and find yourself deeply indebted to some fae or whatnot. The rules of trinket trading are thusly, and I say rules because they're more like guidelines really. There's no hard and fast rules. No one's gonna, call the trinket police on you, although people will get very, very upset with you if you break some of these. 1, trinkets are always free. Never pay for a trinket. Never offer to sell a trinket. Never offer to trade a trinket for something that you should be giving money over. The trinket is the cash, the coin of the realm, if you will. Don't sell trinkets. Unless you're like a vendor selling things for people to use as trinkets, that's okay. But like if you have your mess of trinkets and you're like, oh, I have this and I'll give it to you for $3, that's not okay. That's not okay. People often say trinket trading, but trinkets are supposed to be gifted. You can get a trinket in return, but that's like gifts given back and forth. Don't expect anything when you give your trinket. When you give your trinket, it's giving. Give your trinket. Gift your trinket. Like a fae. There are some vendors that dabble in trinket trading who, they work behind the counter, but they have their own trinkets to trade. They want to give you their trinkets. They want your trinket. It's a whole mess of delight. Just make it real clear that when you're trading trinkets with somebody in or around a vendor area, that you are not trading for vended items, that you are not trying to go above or beyond or around the rules of capitalism. Just like clarity, gift. I wouldn't even use the word trade. A lot of people use the word trade. I don't use the word trade. This is my whole haul from 2024 from all of the Renaissance festivals that I went to, which was 3, 4. I went to Kansas City Renaissance Festival twice. I got a couple of things at Kansas City Renaissance Festival. I gave most of my trinkets away and did not get anything in return. Be willing to come back empty-handed. Just take with you the memories of the joy that you bestowed upon other people. Try not to make something that could be sold. If it's high enough quality that somebody thinks that they should be paying for it, or it is like something that a vendor is vending, maybe no go. Maybe step back and be a little less extra, just a little less. Don't confuse people. That's the goal here. We want the vendors who are like their whole livelihood is vending at the Renaissance Festival to be able to make their dollar. We want the joy from giving a little tiny gift. That said, there are a couple of things that we avoid. We avoid glass. Glass tends to break. We don't want anything that will break and cause injury. Okay, so let's try and avoid breakable things. Likewise, don't give things that can be consumed, because there's no way for the person that you're giving it to know what's in it. Unless you're like giving away wrapped candy on like a Halloween day. I wouldn't call that a trinket, but like you can do trinkets and candy, but like individually wrapped things that are pre-prepared that have ingredients lists on them. We want to be mindful of people's allergies. There are also rules at a lot of Renaissance festivals that you can't bring in outside food unless you have a medical condition. So just avoid things that can be consumed. Also avoid anything with your business or social media logo on it, even if it's not a trinket, because this was not a trinket. I did not hand these out as trinkets. This was a separate thing entirely. But people will get real mad at you for trying to make trinkets a business opportunity or anything that could be construed as it. So just like stay away from that. If you want to talk about the garb clip game, or assassin as it is called, let me know. I'll make a video about it. I'm not real keen on the game because I'll explain it in that video if you want that video. But this was for that. This was not a trinket. I did get called out for using this as a trinket. Even though I explained that these were my trinkets and not this, it was a thing. Jingly trinkets are cute. Some people hide their trinkets for people to find. If you do that, make sure that you're attaching something or making it known in some way that it is a trinket and it is to be kept or gifted, rather than something that somebody is going to think belongs in the lost and found. Just make it real clear that it's, hey, this is a gift for you. This is what you can do with it. Keep it, give it away, whatever. This is not trash. This doesn't belong to anybody. You should do your own research about the Renaissance festival or convention that you're going to and see if they have banned it or if they have guidelines. Some of them do. I think it's Ohio that has banned trinket trading. So just like check, make sure that you're operating within the rules. Everything else aside from rules posted by the event that you're going to is not a rule. It's just a suggestion. But some people will get real mad at you if you break them. If you are ready to handle the social backlash that comes with breaking the societal conventions that have formed up around this cultural thing, feel free to do whatever you want. But I will just say people feel very strongly about their trinkets and their trinket trading, and they will come after you if you break their guidelines and suggested rules. Again, number one rule of everything, respect. Try to be respectful. Trinkets can be purchased. Most of the time they're handmade. I feel like a lot of people feel like the time invested in making and or finding the right trinkets is maybe a little bit sacred. When I do my trinkets, I like to give something that is indicative of me, the person giving, something that speaks about me. And so I made these little flower charms with jingly bells on little hooks for people to do whatever they want with. But like, flowers are my thing. They're my branding. So it's like, here you can have a little piece of me to take with you. Thank you for this wonderful interaction. I usually give trinkets to people whose garb I really like or who have just been really delightful. At Minneapolis, we were just giving away beads to whoever we talked to, and part of the reason why it was just beads was because I had not given myself enough time. Trust that when I make a video about project management, it is all going to be information that has been very hard won. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't make your trinkets the day before the Ren Fest. Give yourself some time. Like, make it a little like evening while you're watching a YouTube or your show of choice. If you're, I don't know, having your 16-year-old binge Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just make a couple every night during the off season. That way you don't have to do a marathon of little jewelry things while you're camping out on Friday afternoon at Texas Renaissance Festival, for example. So yeah, just like be respectful, be happy about it. The whole point of trinkets is joy. It is supposed to be about giving joy. Something that a lot of people consider a big thing about trinkets is including the children, because this all sort of began as like a way to include kids, because a lot of Renaissance Festival is commercial or adult with the drinking and, you know, giving kids a really amazing memory of their time at this magical place. You know, that's important to a lot of us. I do give trinkets to kids, always with permission of the parent. I always say, is it all right if I give your child this gift? And just, you know, seeing their little faces light up. Someone really needs to teach these kids about Fae deals, though. I'm not supposed to tell you this because this is like insider trading knowledge and I could go to Fae jail for it. But when you accept a gift, there's no such thing as a gift in Fae society. You had best be willing to make a trade. And if you don't make a trade then and there, then you might be signing yourself away for an eternity of servitude in the summer court. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. And honestly, you know, maybe it's a little unfair that the judge of what is a good trade is the Fae with more power. But again, I don't make the rules. I just have to live by them. Just a little gift of knowledge for you. So where do you look for trinkets? Well, you can look for people who have like a bandolier of them on them. A lot of people will wear them openly on them. There's also a symbol that you can wear that's basically like an invitation for people to come up to you and ask you about your trinkets. I don't wear the symbol because I have not figured out how to incorporate it into my look in a way that I can also take it off if I don't want to be approached by people. Because sometimes I'm a little like overwhelmed and anxious and I don't want to be advertising for people to like come up to me. So I need to do something that I can flip back and forth, that one says Trinket Trader on one side and then the other says approach with caution, feral. So let's talk about the trinkets that I got this year. I have this beautiful green worry stone. It's striated. It looks like jade. I'm sure it is not jade, but it looks like jade. I have this adorable little hand embroidered star. Kira, Kira, Kira. I have this lovely little resin crystal with some glitter in it. I have this beautiful pink crystal wire wrapped necklace that I got off of the Giving Tree at Heathen Haven. A little mug charm of hot pink pearls, one of which is grasped in a dragon claw or eagle claw, some sort of scalied claw thing. I think this one was Nonsenses. It's a little black and red mug charm with that little graspy claw. Another beaded mug charm, this one with a lovely little moth charm at the end. Yet another mug charm, beaded. This one says Kells. I assume that is the moniker of the person who gave it to me. I will say that everybody who gifted me trinkets was absolutely delightful. Absolutely delightful. There are some of these that are multiple pieces, so I'm trying to get those together. This gold coin that was tossed at me as I was sitting outside the pirate bar restaurant thing on Sunday at the opening weekend of Texas Renaissance Festival. I think the guy was trying to get it in my hat and missed a couple of times, but then finally achieved and gave it to me. This little skull and crossbones, which looks, the back of it looks like it's like a post for a rivet or something. I'm not sure, but it looks cool. Kansas City Chiefs little keychain thing here, because Nonsense was wearing his Royals hat when we went on Sunday into the fair, and there was a guy who was like, oh, I know exactly which one to give to you. So we're repping our KC pride. I got two what we like to call dragon tears, a pink one and a clear one. I got a beautiful sparkly pink gem. I think this was also gotten at or around that pirate bar on Sunday at Texas Renaissance Festival. The very first trinket that I got at the Texas Renaissance Festival while we were walking up to enter on Saturday, there was this absolutely gorgeous young woman who was jingling as she walked, and I told her that her bells made me so happy, and I gifted her my trinket, and then she pulls out these bones and this pumpkin, and they glow in the dark. So I am tickled pink. The very last trinket that I got at Texas Renaissance Festival is this lovely crane pen, and I'm not going to show you the back, but there is a darling little note from one of our neighbors who camped next to us. Delightful. This little glow-in-the-dark raven which I believe I got from Kansas City Renaissance Festival. There is another raven that I got that I don't know where it went, from the Adopt an Introvert tent at Texas Renaissance Festival, and I'm devastated that it's not in my haul here. I have to look for it and find it, along with, I think, maybe the Dragon Tears, or along with these. It was with something else, and I have a crappy memory. Someone gave a damn and a shit about me, which goes very well with my little F word that I got from Kansas City Renaissance Festival last year, which is my last F to give. You can have adult trinkets. Just make sure you also have some kid-friendly ones. My trinket is a little gold chain with a pink flower charm and a tiny little belt on it. And then I guess one could call this a trinket. This is a ring that was given to me by the captain of the Crow's Nest Friday evening at opening weekend of Texas Renaissance Festival. And I was going around trying to like find my way around and like ask people for interviews, because there's so much to know about that Renfest, that location, the camping, the culture, and I just wanted to, you know, like let people tell their story. So he gave me this as like basically a marker that I had earned his trust, that he believed in me and my mission or whatever, and it was really touching. And now I wear it often because it's also my aesthetic. I don't know if you understand how like serendipitous a lot of these things are to me, but many of them are like my aesthetic. Little skull and glow-in-the-dark bones with like pink jewels and dragon claws, and maybe it's just because they're so ubiquitous to the Ren Fair experience, but crows and bones and things like that are very precious to me. I just kept having all of these moments of like, this means so much to me, and I can't even explain to you how much this means to me. So thank you to everyone who gifted me with your trinket, and thank you to everyone who took mine. Like, I cannot express the amount of delight that I took in seeing the face of everyone who I bestowed a trinket upon. Have you given trinkets before? Have you gotten trinkets before? Have you traded trinkets before? Have you ever made trinkets? What kind of trinkets do you like to receive? What kind of trinkets do you like to give? Have you ever even heard of trinkets? What is the motif that you could receive that would make you burst with joy? Write it down in the comments. Let me know. Thank you so much for being here. We just passed our first threshold for monetization, which means I have applied for the thing that lets us have channel memberships. It's going to be a while in the making because I want to make sure that there is like something worth it that people get out of it. I don't want to just like ask people for money. That is like so much not why I'm doing this, but it is like extra validation on top of the cake. It's like the big icing sculpture on top of the cake. I've decided that even if this never pays off, I'm gonna be doing YouTube because I need the creative outlet. So you're stuck with me. Sorry. Just a warning, like, this channel is not just about Renfest stuff. I'm like on the Renfest bullshit right now, but there's going to be other stuff on it. So if you're only here for Renfest, please don't subscribe. You're going to be disappointed later, and I don't want to disappoint anybody. I've disappointed enough people in my life. But if you like the vibe and you want to stick around, go ahead and gently caress the subscribe button. If you liked this video, please, please, please hit the like button, leave a comment. It helps so much in the algorithm. I cannot even explain to you how much commenting and hitting the like button do for the algorithm. What does the most for the algorithm is what you're doing right now, which is watching to the very end, and I am so very grateful for you. Please, please make sure you take care of yourself. I'm not your mom, but I'm gonna mom you right now. Please make sure that you are hydrated, that you're eating enough. Please try to make sure that you go to bed at a reasonable time so that you get enough rest so that you can be at your best. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week. Like a fae. Like a fae.